Galactic Disaster Season 2 is finally officially ended. Obviously, Android support for the screenshot sharing function will be provided in a later update. And then, of course, they added a description, the effect description for Diana's Ego Manifestation Stage 2 Awakening Memory. Obviously, there was a couple of things that were like either not there or were wrong, so they had to update that, which was updated today, very, very early this morning. So, sorry, my keyboard was in Japanese because I was doing stuff with PC98 stuff, and it mostly is in Japanese, and I needed it to not suck and or be gibberish. Anyway, so the Season 2 stuff for Seed of Karmic Fire, that stuff is all done. If you didn't get a chance to finish the story stuff and the battle missions are still going to be available in your standard story section. It's just been moved from the front page to your story portion of the game. If you have any additional story has been moved to Act 3, so if you have any pieces of Act 3 you want to finish, go there, watch it, finish it, do what you got to do. Not a big deal. You can proceed with Act 3 story after clearing Act 1, Chapter 5, Episode 5 Epilogue, which is normal. Any story progress that was completed during the season will be retained. Thank God. I would be wild if they didn't, but here we are. In the Codex with Seed of Karmic Fire, unique option Arena will now appear in the outskirts and interior unidentified areas. Through exploration, you can obtain refinement options in God's Hammer. So they're keeping all of this stuff. It's just like the stuff that was happening when you were... If you find a Codex that is Seed of Karmic Fire, you will get arenas. If you go to other planets and you run the option for that, it gives you the arena. I'm pretty sure you're not going to get any of the Season 1 stuff. It's all just arena. Being able to get the Dimensional Tunnel, I don't think is a thing anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't going to still be able to do a Codex and get Lab 0. You can still get Lab 0. It's just Lab 0 with arenas versus Lab 0 with Tunnel. So, all of the held quantities of Radiant Life and the environmental upgrade currency Memory of Light will be removed. They will not be replaced by anything. If you didn't spend it, it's fine. That's on you. Based on the difficulty at which Burning Life Chaos was cleared in the Galactic Disaster Season 2, the Codex Merge grade of the Zero system will be unlocked. Galactic Metals obtained through Season 2 will be moved to the display case in the account profile. New combatant. So, this is all just general end of the season. This is literally the same thing they did at the end of Season 1. So, nothing really big there. Nothing big changed. Nothing super fun. Nothing super fancy. This is all... We've dealt with this before. Diana is our newest combatant. She is a passion hunter. She has this adorable angel aesthetic and a lot of boobage. Under boob in the main, and I think her affinity is just side boob patrol. It's just side boob patrol. It's glorious. Anyway, yes. She has a unigram story that you can go through and unlock at 3, 13, and 15, which is pretty standard. And you get her you get her affinity background at level 10, just like you do with other things. There is also a surprise background that some people weren't aware that was going to happen that I was given the ability to see earlier, which is very, very cute and nice. And I'm glad she finally got one, so I'm happy about that. Level 1, potential 0, E0, affinity 1, 170, 45, 78, 3% crit, 125% critical damage. At 60, P7, ego, E6, affinity 40, she is 530, 168, 368, 13% crit chance, 137% crit damage. Solid. Yeah, Nia was the one I was talking about. She's the other surprise we weren't expecting. I was saving it till we got in. Gosh. I know that you guys, most of you guys that are here right now play, so it's not a big deal. I know you all know. No, you're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Her starting cards are 2 attacks with a heal, and with All My Heart, which has Quietus. We'll get into that in a minute. 100% damage, create 2 Heartbreaker. Her 4 unique cards are Khmer Milk Puff, which creates 2 Heart Shaker cards. Pistol of Purification is a bullet card that also has Quietus. It does 120% damage, 2 Resonance. If this card is discarded, you activate Resonance inflicted on the target by this unit 3 more times. Blooming Love has Quietus, draw 1, discard 2, and Liberated Feelings, draw 2 exhausted bullet cards, 300% damage, increase damage amount by 30% for each different bullet card in hand. Cards that are generated are Heartbreaker, which is a bullet that has haste and exhaust, 80% damage, discard 1 random bullet card. If this card is discarded, 120% extra attack to a random enemy. Heart Shaker is a bullet with haste and exhaust. 1 resonance, discard 1 random card from draw pile. If this card is discarded, 2 resonance to a random enemy. And Cupid Shot, which is a bullet with quietus, 120% damage, 60% extra attack to a random enemy for each bullet card in hand. Her 2 effects are resonance and quietus. Oh, don't be sorry, it's fine. I'm just giving you shit. Resonance is on the discard of a card, it will do 80% extra attack and then decrease the resonance stack on an enemy by 1. And Quietus, this is actually a very interesting and unique mechanic. It says when this card is discarded, you activate the card instead, and then it cannot be removed from the discard pile for the turn that it was activated, which is very, very interesting. So a lot of decks that have been very heavily... it's interesting. So I'll explain twofold. One, a lot of decks previously in the meta, especially for like Great Rift stuff, a lot of the people have been doing a lot of deck cycling. What they'll do is they'll cycle through the draw pile, get all the cards they need, blow them out, and then recycle the discard. Put it back into the draw, rinse, repeat. This is how Ultimate Meilin works. This is how Multi-Shot Barrel works. This is how Serennial Forever works. There's a lot of decks that you can just continue to recycle over and over and over and over and over again, and then throw out one card and just beat the ever-living crap out of a boss. So Quietus stops that from functioning, wherein every time you use the card, if the card is discarded, it activates it, it does the damage, or it does the effect, but then it's stuck in the discard pile until the next turn. So you can't cycle it out of discard because it was just used. It's stuck in the used pile for a turn. So it stays in the used pile, then it goes to the discard pile, then it can be cycled. It's crazy. Because there's times where like there's other cards and other decks that you can cycle the stuff that was in just used, out of used, into discard, and then from discard back into the deck. These cards don't leave the just used pile. So they're kind of stuck in a limbo after use, where they're kind of like exiled for a period of time and then come back into the draw pile and the next time the graveyard is recycled. So very interesting mechanic. It'll be interesting to see how Quietus functions. From everything I've seen so far, she seems to be a sub-attacker. She's not like a primary attacker, so it could be interesting, but I haven't got a chance to touch her yet, so I have no idea. Ego skill is Radiant Smile. It creates 1 Cupid Shot and creates 2 Heart Bullets. Cupid Shot and the Heart Bullets are either Heartbreaker or Heart Shaker. Her Awakening Memory, it says each time an ally Sleeping Memory, 100% damage amount to the Liberated Feelings card, and change the draw count of exhaust bullet cards to 3. So this is E1. E2 is Awakening Memory. Each time an ally discards a card, gain 2 Flutters. Flutter says at the end of the turn, 200% extra attack to the target with the highest max HP, and increase the damage amount of the extra attack by 10% for each Flutter, then decrease all Flutter at the start of the next turn, stacks up to 20 times. As we've said it before, E2 is very popular for a lot of these characters. It's very rare that you have a character that isn't good at E2 and requires more like an E4 for you to actually be able to do anything with them. There's really only a couple of characters that are still like that, like Rin, and technically Haru's good at E2, but is also very strong at E4, but yeah. There's like another one we were looking at the other day, and now I can't remember, but it's not a big deal. Vivid Memory, change cost of Radiant Smile to 4, and the creation count of heart bullets to 4. Inner memory is our extra attacks being increased by 30% and 1 additional percent damage to Diana's extra attacks for each flutter. E5 is our card upgrade, and E6 is each time an ally discards a card, gain an additional 2 flutter, and increase the max stack count of flutters by 10. Each time Diana's flutter stacks to 30, allies inflict 200% extra attack to a random enemy once per turn. Her E6 is very strange. Heavy on the don't have cards, just do extra. But since it only does it once a turn, I don't know that that's good. It's hard to say. I think this is the first time I've seen an E6 and been kind of like, ew. I'm not sure I like that. Like, again, I guess that I think her E6 is one of those I need to see it in practice versus how it's written on paper, because I don't know that it makes a lot of sense on paper. So we'd have to see. She looks good. She looks interesting. She's a bullet character, so she could go very well when partnered with other bullet characters, other extra attackers. So Beryl, Beryl, Selena, Luke and Lucas, Renoa, all of those characters could work very well with her as like a partner for DPSing. That's another thing I've also noticed with like hunters. The hunters themselves are always very, very good support DPS. But I feel like you're losing out on being able to have reliable secondary support on your team. So it makes the team much more aggro focused, which isn't terrible and tends to be very, very heavily what Passion is all about as far as a damage type is concerned. I could, in theory, see Veronica, Diana, Meilin being a thing. Like Meilin coming back into the meta again. I could see that happening with her. Because it's all about multi-target, functional, dick punch. Every card is a passion card. Do as much damage as possible with Meilin kind of thing. So it's entirely possible that she could be a replacement for whoever it was that was the other character in the old Veronica Meilin deck. I don't remember who it was. Was it Cassius? It might have been Cassius or Nia. I don't remember. It might have been Nia. You could probably still run Nia. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's a thing. She seems very interesting so far. Her partner is Sophia. Sophia is very cute as well. She is a Holy Crusader that is the hunter partner. That is specific to Diana. Her passive is Milky Way Chorus. Increase the assigned combatant's attack by up to 24%. When a Passion Quietus card of the assigned combatant is discarded, plus a maximum of plus 10% critical damage, stacks 4 times. When 3 bullet cards are discarded, between 200 to 400, it's up to 400% extra attack by the assigned combatant to a random enemy twice per turn. She then does her ego skill. We finally get to see what Diehard Fan actually is, because it doesn't tell you in the game. We looked it up. It doesn't. Always Cheer for You is her active skill. 3 stacks of Diehard Fan, 1 draw. Discard up to 2 cards. Diehard Fan is plus 40% damage to extra attacks for the assigned combatant, and at the end of the turn, decrease Diehard Fan by 1. Costs 3. Solid. Again, Sophia is Diana's partner. It's built specifically for playing around the Quietus mechanic. So having that means good things. Otherwise, stick to the 4 stars, because that's what everyone's been doing recently. We'll get into that later too, because it's a little interesting. The next big update for the content is what is called Full Scale Offensive. Full Scale Offensive is actually very interesting. They have taken the bosses from the first and second half of Season 1 and the first half of Season 2. So we have Pile of Goop, Angry Tentacle Dog, and Hans McGee. And have given us the ability to just go in, do as much damage, and try to get rewards for doing as much damage to these bosses as possible. As you continue through all of these, you must be at level 40, captain level 40, I should say, sorry, to be able to do this. It's currently unlocked and runs until the 27th. The idea here is that you want to try to do what you can to get up all the way up to 9 stars. Each time you do it, you will gain additional items. For up to 6 stars, you'll gain 120 crystals, traces of memory, particles of memory, and units for each completion. At 7, 8, and 9, instead of crystals, you will gain prism lenses, and everything else will stay the same. Oh, well, actually, the traces of memory go from 30 to 20, but still, it's the same stuff. So basically, the idea is you have a 10-turn limit, just like you did before, but it is a single phase versus double phase, so you only have to worry about putting together 3 people on a team versus 6, like you did before. So there's no front half, back half. It's just the main boss. 3 bosses can appear. You can proceed by forming 3 teams, 1 for each boss. So the idea here is that each of these 3 bosses will have 3 slots available. You send in who you think is going to be your best possible team for each, and try to get 3 stars on each 3 of the bosses. As you do that, through full reset and individual reset, you can reset progress scores and the combatants who participate in the battles. If you participated in one battle, you can't deploy them to the next one, so make sure that you are picking who you want to be on each of the bosses wisely. Don't think you're not going to be able to take one and move it across all 3. That's not going to work. So, yeah, basically it's just what we've done before. This is just Great Rift bosses, but in a much more contained, compartmentalized fashion, without leaderboards. As far as I'm aware, there's no leaderboards, but it's fine. There's a couple of additional events that are going to go on. We've got Operation Firebreak. This is one of the new things. Operation Firebreak will begin to counter the remnants of the chaos. The anomalous chaos burning life has also affected nearby planets. Your help to fix these is what Operation Firebreak is all about. Suppress the revival of burning life and eliminate all scheduled remaining threats. Each of the 4 pieces that we will have here is based on the schedule that we have to worry about. Earth will be available from 4/8 until 4/29. Spites will open up on the 14th, and Delta will open up on the 21st. You must be Captain level 30 to be able to access these. 21 days are a total of 3 weeks, with 1 planet opening each week. Once you've entered the planet, you select a planet that is unlocked at the 7-day intervals, and to participate in the operation, you will then access the Origin Strike, which is proceed with Chaos Blade to destroy the mutated core, with a total of 4 different difficulties. 1 through 3 is open automatically. You must complete a 3 to open 4. So yeah, once you've completed previous stages, you will unlock 4. Base difficulty, open by default. Upgraded, high difficulty, and the highest difficulty, which is opened upon clearing 3. At the end of all operations, depending on the level of difficulty completed, you will earn additional coordinates of record, crystals, premium battle memories, and premium support data for all characters. There's also the additional potential to obtain crystals, potential discs, and additional units for completing specific difficulties, as well as completing all phase projections for each of the 3 planets, as well as prism lenses, units, and an undetermined ego crystal for completing all of the missions at the end of the next 3 weeks. As far as I am aware, the way it basically works is you pick an area, then you pick a team of save data to then activate the chaos that then allows you to go in and whoop the crap out of stuff, just like you would normally. For more stuff. It's just kind of a thing. Should be interesting. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to be something that affects it. Basically, it's a way of being able to consume old save data to complete the sections. So the way it basically works is you activate phase projection through tactical simulation by consuming save data. So you take older save data from characters that you aren't going to keep, throw it into the phase projection, and then it eats it. And then what it does is when it's active, you can obtain combat support effects that gradually reduce difficulty and view fragments of events that occurred on the planet. Ignore that. That's just my external hard drive freaking out every couple of hours, just randomly disconnecting itself, even though it's not actually been disconnected. It's just old. I'm sorry. Once you have completed each phase projection, you can obtain the first achievement rewards, which is where you get these. And so yeah, the idea is very interesting. So I'm interested in seeing kind of how this plays. We'll probably fiddle around with that later. If not, I'll probably do it offline. I don't know. We'll see. The next event is the Love Gathered at the Wingtips with the new combatant Diana. Resolve incidents occurring in Haven and discover the meaning of love. Adorable. When you're progressing through the main missions on the event page, you can use her trial save data. It started at the beginning of maintenance and runs until the 29th. It is a smile that bestows love, the trigger that protects love, and wings that carry love. Events each will open a week after the next. Actually, it's not even that. It's like a couple of days. So, smile that bestows love came out yesterday. A trigger that protects love will come out today, and wings that carry love will come out on the 11th, which is Saturday. Each one will offer crystals, hunter manuals, certificates, growth stones of passion, traces of memory, and at the end of all of it, a sticker. Excitement, alighting on feathers, which I'm pretty sure is another version of one of her stickers, which is cute. There's also the virtual tactical simulation, which is basically go through, play her, Lucas or Mika, and obtain crystals, memories, manuals, and units. It's just the standard trial. There is also the event Operation Diana Rescue. So this one is actually apparently something that a lot of people are actually very, I don't want to say upset, but like they're just grumpy. They're grumpy. If you haven't actually looked at it, it's kind of a big deal. Basically, this is based on the cumulative number of rescues that you do from the 8th until the 29th. So for the rest of the month, as you rescue, which is just do your gacha banner pulls, the more banners you pull, the more stuff you get. A lot of people are kind of upset about that. A lot of people aren't really going to want or can, especially in the free-to-play space, spend enough for 200 rolls. That's a lot of rolls for free-to-play. You get 3 Tears of God, 2 multidimensional alignment materials. So, energy, craft, and get the stat bonuses that you want on fragments. The undetermined, you get 2 of the undetermined ego crystals. These are used for maxing out your crit, or well, it's for maxing out your second to last level of potential. A 10 pull, 150 for a 10 pull. And then at 200, you get 3 Masterpiece Prism modules, which are modules that can be used to unlock card mobility for any character instead of a specific character. And it's typically the ones that are used on 5-star agents. So these are 3 guaranteed card motion resets for 5-star agents for 200 pulls. Wow. Not a fan. This is rough. I think this is rough. 200 pulls is a lot. Getting a free 10 pull at 150, kind of rough. Honestly, I think economically getting 10 pulls, getting 100 pulls is not hard. I feel like that's kind of the break point, though. I don't think a lot of people, unless you're whaling, are actually spending money on the game in general just to get enough crystals to get to 200. You're not going to want to do all 200. Getting to 100 is pretty common. I think that's where a lot of people are going to stop, because that's where the items that actually mean anything stop. If it was less pulls and the 10 pull was earlier and the alignment material was later, so like if you were to drop it from 200 to 100, no, 200 to $150 across the board, wipe off the Masterpiece prisms and just do 150, and then swap the 10 pull with the alignment material, people would actually want to do 150 pulls. But as it is, 100 is a max. I don't think anyone's going to want to go past 60. 100 is 100. It's harder to do, especially free to play, but I feel like to save that much in a month is rough for a lot of folks. I think a lot of free to play players are going to have problems with that. So yeah, I don't feel like this is. I feel if you moved this here and this here, chopped this off, and just made it to 4, people would actually care about rolling on this. Like, people would actually care about rolling. People would want to actually get these items. But because they're in the order that they are, people are going to stop on 100. They're not going to do the 150 and 200. There's no reason for them. There's literally no reason for them. This is something that I've been complaining about for a while. Partner Special Rescue. They are doing a partner special banner for the half-year anniversary. The reason why this is important is because you're guaranteed a 5-star after 50 rolls. The reason why that's important, I've said that twice, but it is important that you understand why it's important. Because they are worried that people aren't pulling for 5-star partners. Rightfully so, because most people aren't. If you go and you look at if you go and you vibe and you play the game because you want to, you have all of the 4-stars. You have at least one copy of all of the 4-star partners. In some cases, you have multiple copies, especially after you've like fully ego manifested the partners that you've had for months. However, most guides, most content creators, most people who are playing this game at a relatively high level do not care about 5-star partners. They don't pull for them. They just save their points for energy. They save all of their crystals for Aether, for energy, and agents. That's it. They don't care about 5-star partners. This banner is supposed to be exactly, and that's the biggest problem. This banner is supposed to be a, hey, 5-star partners are cool, you should try to get some. Most people don't care about them. That's the problem. There's at least 3 or 4 that are really fucking good. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And like Fu says, normal gameplay doesn't give us the resources we need to want to roll on the normal partner banner. I completely agree. I am personally an outlier. I love rolling to try to get my 5s. I love rolling trying to get the 5 stars because I know that the certain 5 stars just have better are just better mechanically than the 4 stars. But because we already have E4 partners at the 4-star level for fucking everybody, it doesn't matter anymore. People, like you said, nobody is incentivized to try to get the 5 stars. So this is their help to incentivize, hey, go get 5 stars. So the way they did this is basically the same way they did it when the game first launched and you had the ability to get a reduced rate 10 pull on agents. So instead of spending 10, you spend 8 and you get a 10 pull. Is 20% off really good? Is 20% off the way to go? Is it the one that actually makes sense? Is 20% off the partner banner incentive enough to try to roll to get a 5-star partner? Now, also keep in mind, you're not guaranteed a 5-star partner every time you roll. You only get 5 rolls, and even though it's 8 instead of 10, would you rather just save the 5/8 tokens, the 5 times 8 tokens that you would normally be spending on this banner to just roll on the standard agent banner and get more 4 stars? So inherently, and again, because I know we've said this in the past, and other people I've spoken with on Discord have said the exact same thing. They don't care about partners. They just stick with the 4 stars. There are people who have had every single drop luck with every single agent that this game has released, and have every single agent that is available to play with, including Serenial, and the only time I've seen anyone talk about a 5-star partner was that Westmacott sucks. Oh my god. Everyone else is like, the partner's okay, but I don't care. I'm not rolling for it. Westmacott was legitimately the only time I've seen people actively hate on a partner because her ability is ass. And I'm like, wow, that is unfortunate. Cause like, man, she looks cool on paper. But in practice, there are so many better other partners for Yuki. The other thing that's really funny to me too is that technically there's a generic 5-star that's actually better for Yuki than Westmacott, and I'm just like, oh man. Anyway, I don't know. We live here. I'm not going to spend pulls on them normally. Maybe for the banner partners, if they're good, the 5-stars that the game started with, not so much. I'll go over them again, but there are a couple of 5-star generic partners that are like, if you don't have this partner and you're only running a 4, you're probably only still getting about 80% of what that agent can do. Like, I'll be honest, the 5-star partner that you can get for Orlea is amazing. And it's specifically because I'm like the only person that plays Orlea specifically for all cards in hand, all cards retain. So like she's mega retain, and so her ability is activate the retain of all cards in hand for 2. Okay. I'm okay with that. That's a free heal mid-fight. That's a free all kinds of other nonsense. So like not owning the agent, not withstanding, she's a really good 5-star. She does exactly what she needs to do, specifically for the agent that she was built for, and in general can also assist with other characters fairly well in the controller space. The problem is that most 5-stars are built for like 1 or 2 characters. There are not a lot of 5-stars that are generic enough outside of strikers. The striker partner Scarlet and the striker, there's 2 striker partners. There's Scarlet and then there's the other one, and both of them are really, 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 really good. But they're 5-stars. So getting them is a pain in the fucking ass. But yeah, I'm okay with the idea that if I do 5 pulls, I guarantee a 5-star. But also, if you have really good luck and your RNG is ever in your favor, you could do 5 normal 10 pulls on the normal partner banner and get a 5-star. So like, why would I be incentivized to pull on the reduced cost partner banner when most times people don't care? So this is something that a lot of people complain about. This is something that a lot of people will continue to complain about. 5-star partners are not cared about enough for something like this to make people want to do any kind of pull on it to get a 5-star. Because the 4-stars do the job just as well and are generic enough that it doesn't fucking matter. So, moving on. Overdrive simulation, double rewards for doing specific simulations. 2 times, 6 times each day. So you do 2 100 Aether runs and you've gotten all of your stuff. Cool. Runs until the 14th. So 5 runs for the week. Cool. Also, Into the Depths of Despair, the half anniversary pre-event. During this period, you can obtain a Chaos Selection chest by clearing missions in the event Into the Depths of Despair. Whenever you use the Chaos Selection chest, you can either choose 30 Chaos Orbs or 100 Crystals of Discord. Chaos Orbs obtained from the Selection chest do not affect your Chaos Matrix. This is basically going through, doing what we've always kind of done with the stuff, and yeah, it kind of goes from there. Anyway, yep, have a good dinner. The normal amount, you spend a bunch of Aether, you get a bunch of experience. This is actually a lot of experience. So 4,000 experience for people, especially post 50, this is a lot of experience. So spending Aether to gain what is actually a visible, like more than a visible single percent on your experience bar, kind of nice to see. Instead of like 200, 400, 4,000 a piece is pretty good. And I know that I know people that can spend 500 to 600 Aether in one session just trying to get enough to level a character to 60. So, it's entirely possible that this is going to get filled out very quickly. And for that, his experience is actually pretty good. What the fuck? I need to figure out what's actually causing that bidoop boop noise to occur. It's driving me insane and it's giving me anxiety. I'll figure it out later, but it's help. You're also going to be getting 4 new flash of potential. This is really important. Flash of potentials are the things that allow you to re-epiphany a card after you have finished a chaos run and did not use it. Did not use a meditate when you finished. Also, whenever you use the Garden Cafe, you will gain an additional 40 Aether based on the type of coffee drink that you get, either for here to go. New season of Basin of Hyperspace is beginning. 48 battles taking place from 1st to 10th. So this is basically season 2 of Basin of Hyperspace. So if you didn't actually get a chance to finish your second season of Basin of Hyperspace, it's been reset. Start over, do them again. Good way of being able to get certain types of materials. Good way of being able to kind of test your builds, test your decks, see if you're able to complete them in the time frame. Some of the fights can get increasingly difficult. So yeah, it's a good way of being able to just sort of test your deck, see how far you can go. New season of Zero System has begun. A song, Rippling Through the Stars, is our new preview for season 3. The idea is that you can use Zero System to merge a song Rippling Through the Stars preview option. Clearing the corresponding codex will grant a song Rippling Through the Stars save data. Save data can be used during the seasonal content when Season 3 actually goes live. Seasonal limited elements will be added as certain common cards, fates, and equipments, however, may be restricted. The restricted items will not appear in the chaos and will remain even after the season ends. So this is basically stuff that we're going to be able to see during the month of April. Obviously, we've added the display case. This is a thing that allows you to add to your profile skin. After a season ends, galactic medals obtained can be viewed in the display case, so you can see what they all were and what you got, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, a lot of those were also turned into stickers, things like that. The overall system for 5-star partners will be improved and their passive effects will be enhanced. This is part of the reason why no one cares about 5 stars. When combatant receives increased attack, defense, or HP by N%, effects from potentials, memory fragments, or set bonuses, the increase will be applied based on the total combined stats of the combatant and the currently equipped partner. To provide a constant combat experience, monster stats across all level ranges will be adjusted. The base stats of all 5-star partners obtained through rescue will also get the stat gains from leveling up and promotion, and will also be increased. The targeted partners will be Asteria, Westmacott, Marianne, Scarlet, Marin, Tina, Pekko, Kiara, Janet, Ivy, Itsuku, Bria, Alsea, Erica, Zeta, Tiana, Gaia, and Noel. All of these are the 5-star banner partners, except for Scarlet, Janet, and I want to say Bria? I think also Zeta and Noel. So 5 of all of these partners are the generic partners. All of the rest of them are partners that were banner partners. So the rescue partners and the season pass. Oh yeah, Priscilla, Celia, Sorethia, Antea, Aisling, and Nyx are also getting buffs, which are the season pass ones, making them slightly more attractive, but still not as powerful as literally any of the 4 stars, except for Nyx. Nyx is still by far is really the only season pass partner that actually like means anything. So the fact that she's getting a buff to be defense, health, and heal by between 12 to 20% instead of 8-16 is huge. Nyx getting this buff is huge. Honestly, I feel like that's probably the best one. I don't know that it makes Priscilla or I don't know that this makes Priscilla or Iceland better choices. It makes them attractive choices, but I don't think it makes them better choices because their abilities are really still very niche when compared to other 4 stars and or partner 5 stars. I should say banner partner 5 stars. Nyx is still godlike. She's still one of the best ones you can get. And I'm still so pissed off about the fact that Entei and Serethia are just awful. All of the rest of the Striker, Ranger, Hunter, Psionic partners are getting increased from 8 to 16 to 16 by 24. And the Vanguard and Controllers are getting the defense increase from 8-16 to 16 by 24. So it's good that they're increasing the main partner passive, but like, meh, is it worth the effort? Other than the banner partner, hard to say. They're improving the items in the shop. New packages are added. Starshine packages, security upgrade 1, 2, and 3 for $14.49 and $99.99. With paid amplifications, crystals, and alignment materials. These are your whale packages. If you're going to whale, you're buying these. Supply new season start and mission added. Arcanon supply season 5 will begin. 6 new season missions will be added. Full scale offensive. Achieve a total score of at least 300,000. Completed love gathered by the Wingtips epilogue. What is love? Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. This is what we were looking for. So this is the new Nia Affinity level 10. Nia is one of, I think, like 3 characters that were at the very, very beginning of it all who didn't actually have a Affinity poster. We finally got Nia's Affinity poster. It actually is also motion in-game, and she is very jiggly. And it's nice. I really think it's cute. She's got like an idol rocker Suisei look to it. I think that's kind of the thing that they were going for here. She feels very much like this is something that Suisei would Hoshimachi Suisei would wear. So yeah. I think it's cute. Renoa, Selena, Rin, Orlea, Veronica, and Luke have all had additional combatant stories added to Unigram, which is huge because I've been waiting for Selena stuff forever. And this is huge. They finally added the PC client keybinds. A new feature has been added to allow battles to be played using keybinds. Specific allowable shortcuts can be checked in the keybinds tab, and when show keybinds is on, available shortcuts will be displayed on the battle screen, so you don't always have to use your mouse for stuff. Kinda cool. Been waiting for that. Now if we can just make it so that when we're in menus, we can just hit fucking escape, and it takes us all the way back to the main menu by just nailing escape a bunch. There's also a way to be able to finally share screenshots that you take on Android and iOS. Currently not available, but will be updated. The screenshot sharing function will be first available on PC and will be updated for Android and iOS, which is cool. The requirements for some growth guide missions will be reduced to ease difficulty, affected on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Multiple selections are now available when charging Aether with crystals. So this is a big quality of life improvement. Being able to just go, hey, I want to spend a shit ton of crystals instead of click, save, yes, click, yes, click, yes, click, yes. I can just go click 7, yes, bam, I've got 1,000 fucking energy again. Aether can now be charged up to 999 beyond the original cap of 240, which that's always been a thing. But now you can charge it to 999 rather than just drink coffee to 999. A mini-map scroll feature will be added. Chaos Exploration. The full screen map now opens and closes faster. Thank fuck. This one's huge. Being able to just scroll the mini-map version versus having to click it and then scroll the big version. God damn, I've been waiting for that. New option will be added in settings to enable or disable frequently occurring pop-ups. Does that mean we'll finally be able to disable the you've been playing for 1 hour, you've been playing for 2 hour pop-up? I'll have to look into that. I understand why that exists. I do understand why that exists, because that's a Korean law thing. By Korean law, you have to have that, but they never removed it for the global launch, which is like, sure. So they just kept it on for everyone. Tapping Unigram notification will now open Unigram. The distortion adaptation toggle will now remains as set by user even after restarting the client. Mouse scroll can now be used for navigation in scroll-based UI portions. In full screen mode, the combatant and partner profile menu, you can zoom in and out using mouse scroll. In full screen mode of the record of a moment tab in the combatant profile, you can zoom in and out using mouse scroll. Animation speed up will now apply to the following spot entry animations. Dice animations displayed when using the fear card selected in Synecdoche battles. And you can finally have the fear roll go faster. Neat. And the auto combat icon will be updated. Good. And other tab will be added to the card archive. Information status ailment and cursed cards will be used for the other tab. Potential node, the 5-2 will be added for all combatants. This is a new one. Effect, increase the chance for Divine Epiphany to appear by 25%. Every character got that. It's kind of nice. I'm glad they added that. An additional 25% for Divine Epiphanies on every character without having to like boost it through chaos. Kind of nice. Blah. Dismantle button will be added to partner swap screen. The display of a partner's affiliated combatant will be enlarged for better visibility. Thank fuck. The partner passive application status will be more clearly distinguished with the partner formation screen in any game. Okay. The color of the pass icon on the main screen will be adjusted for clear distinction. Blah. Motion previews will be available when restoring chord motions. Thank you. Clicking the move to unlock condition button for battle missions will move you to the appropriate mission node based on your progress. Blah. An issue monster attacks would occur abnormally under certain conditions, under the fickle taste battle will be fixed. An issue where team formation is applied incorrectly when exiting or retrying a battle that includes a trial character after setting a team preset will be fixed. Thank fuck. An issue where the stun status icon is incorrectly displayed when the hue effect in hand is applying during 9 battle will be fixed. Good. An issue where progress was halted due to an error code that popped up in certain situations when exiting simulation will be fixed. I don't think I ever had that problem, but like, is it my mouse? Is it my mouse? Is it not my hard drive? Is my mouse what's failing? Oh, that's bad news, because I have a very specific type of mouse that I use. I use a 12-button MMO mouse, and if I have to go get a new MMO mouse, that's expensive. I don't have that kind of cash. We'll see. I don't think I spent a ton on this because I've got the Corsair model, but the fact that it's falling apart and like dying as much as it is, that's a little scary. I'll have to look into that later. It might be my mouse. If that's the case, then oh dear. We'll have to figure that out later. An issue where a character voice does not play in the Record of Hope PV video at Galactus Actor Chap 3, a golden man when BGM is muted will be fixed. Yeah, I noticed that. When I played it on my alt account on my phone, I could hear everything. But when I was playing it on PC, I only got the background music and all of the voices were just straight up muted. And I'm like, what the crap? I know there's voice acting here. Why can't I fucking hear it? And it was because it was broken. Apparently it's a bug. Yeah. The currently ongoing new Captain Support Special Rescue request will run until the maintenance on 429, after which a new event for Protoss will be introduced. We ask for your understanding and hope you look forward to the new Rescue Support event for new Protoss. The returning user event will be updated for Protoss. After the maintenance, the rewards for existing return event and Garden Cafe's returnee present will be changed. Protoss return, blah. The half anniversary update will run for 4 weeks starting after the April 29th into maintenance, extended by 1 week compared to previous updates. We appreciate your interest. Cool. Pros and cons, takeaways. The 3 things that I think I want to touch on really, really quick before we get into actually trying to go to get Diana. This full scale offensive, cool, good, glad. We need more boss-style encounters, single-target, big, fat boss-style encounters that aren't related to what the seasonal versions of these bosses were, which is leaderboard. I don't care about leaderboard. I know a ton of people who also don't care about leaderboard. We just want to be able to take a team of fighters, run them into a boss monster just to see how they stack up against each other. That is the whole reason why this kind of stuff is neat. Also, make it permanent. Please stop making them seasonal. Please stop making them not something we can just do. Every time a new seasonal boss comes out and you finish that front half, stick it in here. Just add, so when season 3 starts, add the second half season 2 boss into this so that we can fight it also. Just give us this consistently and people will be happy. Number 2, this is going to be weird. Operation Firebreak seems like something that could be very, very interesting, and I'm kind of intrigued on, basically, it's a save data dump. And I kind of wish that this was something that was permanent. Having the ability at the end of every month to just do a big updated dump of save datas into something like this could be interesting. It doesn't have to be storyline related. It doesn't have to have ties to anything specific. Just give me a way that's going to let me use that save data and dump it outside of just getting more units. We have so many ways to get units at this point. Units aren't the problem. Accessing other types of content with save data we're never going to freaking use, that's something people care about. More of this, please. I'm not sure that I understand the idea behind releasing a character outside of a season and giving them what's the word I'm looking for? She feels like she's non-corporeal. It doesn't feel like she meshes with the release scheduling in that she's not associated with a primary storyline. She is her own standalone thing, which they didn't do with Serenial. Serenial exists in the main story plot, but she was only rollable during Christmas. Does that mean we're going to get access to her again during this year's December timeframe for Christmas? Are we going to get our first reroll for Serenial in December again? Or are we going to get another Christmas seasonal only character? Because, like, I'll be honest, I'm actually shocked that Diana isn't limited like Serenial was. Would it be smart to FOMO a character at the end of every season? No. I think people would not like, I don't think people would like that. But it's always interesting to see that instead of incorporating her in a preview chapter of season 3, or extending the final character of season 2 so that we ended up getting like another 3 weeks of Rita, which, I think people would get really upset about that. I don't know. It's interesting. Getting the fact that you can only do this to get storyline content with her for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then this content goes away, but the character's still there, but we don't have any story tie-in. Gonna be weird. Not sure if she's actually in the story for season 3 because we haven't gotten that far. But if she's not, I would be a little chuffed about that. Give us this as a background. Everybody is bitching about wanting a textless version of this picture. It's the Diana with the like chorus coming out of her. Everyone wants this. We don't want the text. We just want this. Last but not least, this is not a banner that anyone gives a shit about. I could make an entire 20-minute video of this is probably a bad idea and this is why no one's going to roll on it, but here we are. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my take. Some of it might be hot takes. Some of it might be cold takes. I don't really know. But yeah, I hope that you guys get a chance to roll for Diana. I hope you guys have good luck on your 50/50s. I hope you get everything you want from the mid-season break between season 2 and season 3. And yeah, you can always catch me live or on Twitch. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, usually starting around 6 p.m. Mountain. Have a good one, YouTube. See ya. Bye-bye.